Welcome back, friends, to the channel. I don't really know where to start this video, so I'm just going to start talking and we'll see where it goes. Have you guys been following what's going on with the coronavirus? I did a video just last week, some basic precautions and things to take, but I'm telling you that this could turn into something that's a real problem. There's a couple things that at least that you might want to think about doing while you still have an option. Now, I know everyone's going to come on just like the other video, oh, it's nothing, it's a common flu, nothing to see here, move along, but I'll tell you, I know a lot of folks. I have a lot bigger reach than I used to when I worked construction, now that I have a large audience, and there's a lot of people that contact me and give me information that I'm not getting, you're not going to be getting on the news. Again, the news is not your friend, and for some reason, the truth, whether it be politicians or the media in large, well, they're a stranger to the truth. They're not going to give you the truth. You have to go to other means. When we went to San Francisco, I was able to meet several people that were actually from China, and I took that opportunity to really ask them questions about what's going on, what do they know, what are the, how many people are affected by this, and what's the Chinese government doing? And you wouldn't know it was the same thing if you contrasted what I was told by people that actually lived there and guys that live in Hong Kong compared to what you're hearing in the media. So I'm not doing this to scare anyone, but just a guy wants to have some common sense and some basic preps in place in case something goes wrong. What I would see it happening, I don't think that the coronavirus per se is a major threat to Americans, and especially those of us who live in rural areas. What's the real threat is going to be the run on supplies. I mean, go try to buy some of these. Go try to buy some N95 masks right now, and it will give you an idea of what rationing is like, what happens when the hive mentality gets frightened, and what they do, they gobble up resources and they just become unavailable. I'll give you a perfect example. Just a small scale thing in my area a few years ago, the major interstate shut down that feeds our area. Now, without that major interstate, there's no way to supply the grocery stores and all the supplies that the community needs. And gone are the days of companies and grocery stores and stuff stockpiling large amounts of food. Our supply chain has become so efficient that you can call the next day, you can have the products you want delivered there. Now, if the trucks aren't running, and if there's some sort of a roadblock or a quarantine or anything like that, that food is not coming, and those grocery shelves they're going to be wiped out inside of 48 hours. It happened here. And this was just nothing more than an ice storm that shut the interstate down for a couple of days, and the groceries, they were bare. So as a husband, as a head of your household, you have a responsibility to look after your family and take care of them and make basic preparations that is going to help you to weather these storms. I mean, don't be complacent. Don't think just because the last 30, 40 years or 50 years that everything has just been smooth sailing and there's never going to be any conflicts again. That's a fool's perspective. I mean, don't be a stranger to history. Look back and see. I mean, there are still people alive today that have went through all sorts of atrocities, and it's not impossible for them to come back again. So I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just saying get some basic things in place. What do you need? You need food, you need water, and you need some fuel, right? You need those basic things at minimum. Make sure you have a way to purify water and a way to store water so that you can keep a couple weeks of water if something happens. Fill up your bathtub. Don't forget you've got reserves in your hot water heater. You can drain that. You can get some, if nothing else, take a piece of plastic, line your tubs, and fill them full of water and let them sit. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? But you should at least have a gravity feed like an Alexa or an AquaRain style water filter. Don't rely upon a life straw. I mean, your life straw, can you imagine trying to filter water for a family of 4, 5, or 6 with a life straw? Get something legit like this. You've got your N95 masks. Do you have any basic medical things? Are there people in your family that have special requirements for medicine? Have you stockpiled these things? Do you have them available to you? And you think about that. How much gas? At least 1 full tank for each vehicle you have. Do you have diesel? Make sure you have diesel. Do you have gas? Make sure you have gas. So if you're a 2-car family, you should be looking at having a minimum of 40 gallons, 40, 50 gallons of fuel. It's not like you're buying something that's going to be wasted, that you're throwing money away on a false scare. You're going to use the fuel. You're going to use the water filters. You're going to use the water storage and all of that. So just make sure you just think about it. Food, and another option. Now, I have made the decision to stockpile food. We have a couple years of food at our place. We've recently purchased a year's supply of freeze-dried food from My Patriot Supply. That's an option for you. If money's tight, you can go to grocery outlet or any one of these wholesale grocery stores and at least get some salt and get some beans and a way to cook them. Do you have a camp stove? You know, that sort of thing. But if you want, do you want to eat beans all the time? You know, that's something the guys got to think about. My Patriot Supply is one of our sponsors. I reached out to them. I bought my food just like you guys do. I mean, there's nothing underhanded here, but I do have an affiliate account with them. So I called them and I said, let's give my subscribers a good deal. Now, if you don't have time to prepare your own meals and do your own, own buying and stockpiling, all that thing, this is a really quick and easy way to do it. This stuff lasts for 25 years, and again, you're not throwing your money away. If you're not going to be using it now or in a near future, you can use it camping. You can use it a million different ways. You know, it's just such a good investment. So I had them put 3 things on there. I put a 4-week supply on there, a 2-week supply, a 4-week supply, and a 6-month supply. So you can get 4 weeks of the food delivered to you at, and they gave me the price of $87. That's for 4 weeks of food for one person based on I think it's between a 1,500 and 2,000 calorie diet. So it's bare bones, but it'll get you by. The 4-week kit is $197. So that's a month's worth of food per person for $200. So you could get food for a family of 4 for the whole month for $800. Mix that in with a water filter and you're in pretty good shape. And then the 6-month supply, which is really a good deal, 26 weeks, that's $997. So that's under $1,000 for a 6-month supply. So just an option. I don't care what you do, it doesn't affect me, but make sure you've got something stored up, you've got some food and some water and the gas and all those things at least. And again, I don't see it as throwing money away. You're going to use it. You're going to use it, share it, give it away, whatever, but at least have it on hand. Normally, when I've ordered this stuff in the past, it's always been 2 days. There are so many people ordering food, and there's such a scare out there right now that they can't guarantee those delivery times. It's going to be first come, first serve. So make sure you get on there if you want to get that 4-week supply or whatever, and get your name on that list. And the sooner you do it, the quicker you're going to be able to get your food delivered to you. So just something to consider. Whatever you're going to do, just make sure you do something, and don't be afraid, but also don't be a fool. So I'll put a link down there to My Patriot Supply. You can go to our landing page. That way you'll get that special deal. Again, I'm not doing this to monetize it. I'm not monetizing this video or to make money off of anyone. This is a company that I bought for myself. I did lots of research, and I think it's the best bang for the buck and the best quality for what you get if you don't want to do your own stuff. So I pay for it just like you. It's just something the guy needs to do. It's just good common sense. Our ancestors, my granddad always had a big larder. They canned food. They had things. You know what he said about the Depression when I asked him about it, living through it? He said, you know, living on a self-sufficient farm and on our homestead, we heard about the Depression, but we really didn't really see much different, growing their own food, milking their own cows, that sort of thing. So, we can't all do that right now, but we can buy a couple weeks supply of emergency food. I don't think there's any one of us that couldn't go without some luxuries for a day or two, make sure that we have that in store. So thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you guys on the next video.